Welcome back, everyone. Today, let us step into a story, not just of a king of men, but of a king far beyond the imagination of earthly realms. Not a king who fought for borders, not a ruler who craved thrones of stone and iron, but a king who conquered the vastest kingdom of all, his own mind. This is the story of a king who rose beyond the five senses, a king who mastered the seven higher dimensions, and who sits upon the golden throne of Swarg Loka. In ancient times, the world was filled with countless rulers. Some conquered lands, others built cities, some etched their names into stone. But this king was different. His battles were not fought with swords or armies. His battlefield lay in the restless mind, in the temptations of the senses, in the illusions of power and desire. Piece by piece, he conquered them all. He mastered anger, silenced envy, dissolved fear. He became a king not by ruling people, but by ruling himself. And when the mind bowed to him, the universe itself opened its gates. The seven higher dimensions revealed their secrets, and thus he became the sovereign of realms unseen. The scriptures say he sits on a golden throne, a throne shining brighter than 1,000 suns. But gold here is not just metal. It is the radiance of purity, the brilliance of divine light. Around him stretches Swarg Loka, a dimension unlike any other. Swarga means unmatched beauty. This beauty is not just in the skies and palaces, but in the very fabric of the realm. Every breeze carries fragrance, every stream sings a melody, and every being here glows with peace. Here, no heart knows jealousy, no mind feels anger, no soul carries envy. It is a realm untouched by the shadows of negativity. But what makes Swarg Loka truly divine is not just its beauty. It is its purpose. Here, the greatest of gods, the wisest of sages from countless realms, gather together. They come not to fight, but to learn, to share wisdom, to seek the guidance of the king, who rules not with force, but with truth. Together, they weave the fabric of destiny. They decide how mortals will be guided, how kingdoms will be sustained, how balance will be preserved across all existence. In Swarg Loka, knowledge flows like rivers of light. Here one learns not how to gain power, but how to use power with compassion, how to lead without ego, how to live without fear. But where light shines, shadows follow. The Asuras and Rakshasas, beings of greed and ambition, came to know of this place. When they heard of the beauty of Swarg Loka, when they learned of its divine wisdom, desire was born in their hearts. And with desire came corruption. "We must claim it," they said. "Let Swarg Loka be ours. Why should gods and sages alone walk its halls? Why should they alone drink from its rivers of wisdom?" Thus began the march of darkness. The Asuras attacked. Armies of Rakshasas stormed the gates of heaven. Their weapons were not only of steel, but of deception, of greed, of endless hunger. And for the first time, the skies of Swarg Loka thundered with war. The Devatas rose to defend it. Celestial warriors clashed with Asuras in battles that shook dimensions. The sound of conch shells echoed across universes. The clash of divine weapons lit up the skies. The war was not just for a throne, it was for truth itself. For if Swarg Loka fell into the hands of greed, the balance of all realms would be broken. Time in those days was not measured by years, but by Yugas, vast cycles of ages. In every Yuga, people looked to this king for guidance. They prayed to him not only for prosperity, but for wisdom. The kind of wisdom that leads to growth, both material and spiritual. When kings on earth wished for victory, they turned to him. When sages sought knowledge, they turned to him. When ordinary people wished for a life of peace, they bowed to him. For in his presence, one learned the true meaning of kingship, that the greatest kingdom to rule is one's own self. And so, through battles and peace, through Yugas rising and fading, his throne remained eternal. The golden throne of Swarg Loka was never just a seat of power. It was a symbol, a reminder that true beauty lies in purity, that true strength lies in self-mastery, that true kingship is not the conquest of lands, but the conquest of the soul. Even today, when we hear his story, we are reminded to master the senses, to silence the mind. To rise above anger and envy is to build our own Swarg Loka within. This was the story of a king unlike any other. A king who conquered not the earth, but the heavens. A king who ruled not through fear, but through wisdom. And perhaps the message he left behind is for us too, that within every heart lies a throne. And upon that throne, we too can sit as kings, if only we conquer ourselves. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope you enjoyed this story and the journey we shared together. If it inspired you or if you learned something new today, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Your support really helps me bring more art and the stories behind it to life. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community so you never miss the next chapter. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next video.